Hello traders, wonderful weekend, Vladimir here, and this is the weekly forecast and market review for the week starting on 26th of March 2017. Last week was very nice, provided some interesting opportunities, and I believe that this week might follow as well, and we are just 1 week before non-farm payrolls report to be published, and we know how important it is every beginning of new months to the market. The traders are looking into that, and let's start talking about the levels, what we have and what we're going to trade. So let's start with the dollar yen, which is making the second push down, but we are here on some very important levels, and here is why. First of all, we've had this cycle to the upside, right? Which should have been corrected, and it does right now. And the thing is here that this has the beautiful correction to the 61.8. Currently it's right here. We have the bullish divergence, which is between the moving averages, right? So technically we might start getting the rally from here, but here is the thing: the pair is currently in a position where it could easily get into the, let's say, second move down, second leg down, before it starts to move in some kind of a range here. In other words, we've had this cycle. Let's do it this way. Let's erase these lines, we don't need them. That's what this pair did. This is a huge cycle, and it's monthly, but the pair had this pattern, and now it has this. So we might still play in this kind of a role here before the pair will decide neither down or up for new highs. That's what makes me think that the pair could still continue lower until it recreate the let's say this bullish divergence, push up a bit, push down a bit again, and start slowly create here some kind of triangle or whatever this pattern is going to look like. In other words, okay, let's make it simple. This could turn to be an opportunity for temporary rallies, but I would expect this pair to make one more continuation down, as long as we don't have the false break here, like break down and retrace above it. We might be looking for the sell opportunities. Okay, if we break above it and hold above it, we might get the correction forward, but I would expect the push and some kind of drop lower, maybe back to the trend line, which we can find here from the bottoms, or even if we go through this low, okay, then we still have plenty of room to go further down. In other words, we might be looking for the sells. On the 4-hour chart, we got a beautiful pattern here, which is a special cycle. So we might get it corrected to this area somewhere and continue into the downside, or get stuck in the range here and continue lower. If we take a look here on the levels from the crystal ball, okay, we have let's start from the 1-hour chart. On the 1-hour chart, we have this level. If it will be broken, we have the next one, which is around 112.14, which is also relevant by 4-hour chart. So if we break the 1-hour chart level, this would be our next level to watch for potential sells. And on the daily chart, that would be the exact place where we expect to get the channel taking us to. And from there, we will be looking for the sells. Next pair on the list is going to be the pound dollar. The pound dollar is making a beautiful rally, and I don't see any reason why it would change. But here comes the but. 29th, this month, the Brexit begins officially. Now it will probably be in a very low pace. No one has interest of creating some mess in the market and some bring some craziness, but it could. So what I would suggest, those of you who have longs, protect yourself, move to break even, and look for any dip into waves to get into buys. because long term this pair should be rallying. This could be the ideas to where to long from, the back to the channel area, okay? And if we observe on the 4-hour chart, that would be our levels here and here. Okay, to look for possible buys. If they don't hold, by any case, we always have the next bottoms, but that's very, very far. For the correction, if the correction down really happens, I would suggest follow these days as to be as potential days for buys, and we have 25, 28, right? So we might get it down to here for a few days, right? And with the Brexit, if the bulls really comes in, we are looking to go for buys. Basically, as you can see, everything follows, right? Everything is connected here. Next one on the list will be the New Zealandian dollar, which is very interesting. We are still trading in this ranging area, which means as long as the lows hold, we're still looking for buys. On the 4-hour chart, this is what we got. Okay, boom, 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 right? And we can say it also was a double. Now it looks like a double correction as well. This is a bullish hidden divergence here, so we can start looking for the buys. If this trend line is broken and retraced, we are looking for buys here. Ideas for some levels coming from the crystal ball. You can see we are still inside the daily channel, which is a bit dangerous here, right? But if we manage to go and break it, that's a very good sign for possible retraces. And as per levels, we have this level slightly below 0.70, which could hold. And as I said, if the trend line would be broken, right, we can start looking for the buys. And the next level would be only here. This is on a 4-hour chart, same on the 1-hour chart. They're pretty far below 0.70 a bit. So the further this pair could take us down to, the better the buy should be after that, as long as this low holds. So keep an eye on this pair. The targets would be the middle of the daily range, which is approximately around 0.7150, and then the top around 0.74. Next one on my list is the Aussie dollar, which we wanted to see breaking here. By far does not. Okay, let's make the better line on daily chart, so you can see here it's holding. It was trying to break through and couldn't do that. So the biggest question was and remains, what's next? I still want only buys for the Aussie dollar, but here comes the thing. We had one false break on the tops. We had a second one on the bottoms right here. We had one more on the top, so there is a pretty nice chance that this turns to be a range. And here comes the great opportunity. If this is the range, then something like that should provide us an amazing buy opportunity, as long as this level does hold. And for that, if we take a look on the levels, we are getting very close to, right? One more push lower, and we start getting below the 0.76. We get it down to here, and that could be also a triple cycle completing down to this area, right? So 4-hour chart and 1-hour chart levels should be our zones to watch for these buys. And in terms of the dates, okay, the channel is pretty bullish yet. So if we drop below that, we can expect that to really start the rally once again. And the dates also support 26 up to 29 could be very nice levels, and very nice dates for buys. So keep an eye on this pair. It's really interesting and it's really nice forming. And the next one is the connection between these two. That's the Aussie versus the Kiwi. And the Aussie Kiwi, as you can see, as you can remember, we're still looking for buys here, right, for the long term. And we got this false break on the weekly chart. We got that convergence idea. We have the continuation, which looks good. On a daily chart, we've had a special cycle here, which is this. It was actually daily and 4-hour chart combo, because this is 4-hour chart special cycle with daily that was double cycle by itself, divergence correcting us. This should be our potential retrace area for continuation buys. 4-hour chart correction looks like we are creating some kind of a triple. I would still expect further lows, starting anything below 108, and ideally to close the gap here on 107.70 or even further, because if we really count this special cycle, this is our zone where we should get the buys from, somewhere here. Yeah, so if we can complete this move down to this area, that could be a really nice divergence forming here, and very nice setups for continuation up. And if we observe that on the, we are currently correcting down, you see where we are blocking at. Okay, and a very beautiful powerful channel that you can see was holding this and this, right? Now might get here or slightly lower and get us back inside the channel once again. That could be really nice buy opportunities. For as per dates, we have 26, 27, 28, 29 mid-class strengths, because they are not on the top, they are on the middle of the table. But still, with the cycle together, still something we can really count in. And on the 4-hour chart, that's our zones, that's our levels. Slightly below 108 could start for a very great levels to hold. One chart is basically lower, around 107, but the 4-hour chart zones start from slightly lower than 108. That's levels we will want to watch and respect. So keep an eye on this, guys. It's really interesting opportunity coming there. Dollar Canadian is a pair I want to get involved with. I'm looking only for sales here. You know that, not a secret to no one, and not because I moved to Canada, just because I believe this one is really good. This is the double cycle we are creating. Anywhere here, I would expect this to block, break down the trend line, retrace into waves, and continue further down. So I am very bearish on this pair. Theoretically, it could still have one more push higher, closer to 140. Yes, it could. But I am very bearish on this pair because of the weekly and monthly cycles that we have them. I would expect one more push further down. And in terms of the rallies, take a look. This is a very powerful area to hold. And then we have on the 1-hour chart, we have it slightly higher, around 124, 134.20. These are very important levels to watch. And here you go. The channel so far holds, right? This is why we get this block here. But if we retrace here and break through, we are going to break the channel like it happened, let's say in these cases, for example. Channel was pointing down, boom, breaking through, and we continue much further down. And with the cycles and everything, bears could take the control. And for the tops, we have 25, 28, very strong zone of dates. This week could be this week that will provide the bears in, unless we break through the levels and then we stop watching for the sells. So we want the two waves to complete, break of the trend line, and we are in. Or the alternative would be always, if we get the rally, if we get the rally, we are looking for false breaks here. Momentum will change to recreate lower lows. That's what gave us a signal, and then continuation. You can also find like very good targets by the beginning. These are the two for first down move. If it actually happens, that's the next one we have here, provided by the crystal ball to us. So that's very important zones. Again, dates coming, we keep an eye here. If it breaks through the levels, let it go, guys. We will be looking for the sell opportunity slightly higher. There is, I just want to make it clear here, as it was triple cycle to the upside, there is a pretty serious chance that we are going for the final push, and that push could take us towards 137, maybe even for duplication around 141. That is still doable. But as long as the top holds and we are on the top of the range, I am after sell opportunities. This is the only reason. If we break through, you have it. Okay, but I do prefer to stick with sell opportunities that are creating themselves. Pound yen is very monster level and could be very amazing buy opportunity. So what I want to make sure here, because we've had the daily cycles forming and the weekly, we expect one more push up. I would be looking for this gap zone I got here. This is 61.8 as on the of this cycle, and it is the gap zone. It's a very powerful supportive area around the 137. Now we are dancing there. There is a potential divergence to be created and completed, which means with the Brexit we can start to get this pair flying. This is the trend line. We have to keep an eye here, because if we manage to break above it, this is going to be the false break. This should be the higher highs for convergence, retrace, and we can go and fly here, because on the weekly chart we have had a special cycle which now could take us to correction to 38.2, which is 150-152 zone, and up to 160. Stay longs, look for these longs. If they are about to happen, they are about to happen probably starting very soon. And if you apply here the boom, we're already looking for buys here by the crystal. Have a look on the dates. We've had the potential button on 23-22. That was right here. There is a very good chance we are going to the upside. Next levels, we could have the button 26-29. That's weaker dates, because they're in the middle of the class of the table, and we might get it rallying. Now if we take a look for levels, take a look how beautiful it holds here. Okay, that's why I'm so excited about it. Next levels also not far. See, they're very close, so that could be very serious buy opportunity. Stay alerted and ready for this one, guys. It could turn to be an amazing buy opportunity, such as CAD, which should recreate here a bullish hidden divergence. I just want to remind you, we've had this triple or special cycle from the weekly, which means we should be aiming the 50%. We were not far from it, and we could still bottom here somewhere and fly towards the 91 zone. Definitely doable, of course. And on a daily chart, that's the cycle we currently have. No divergence formed, so any push further and slightly lower, and we are after buys, heavy buys. Cat franc also, the pair we want to buy, and I want to do that here, or because this is a duplication we have, right? Not the best area since the legs are different, but this level is also respected by the special cycle, so it could hold here. If not, we are going slightly lower, and that could be to even slightly below than 0.73, which is doable, of course. But what I want for this from this pair, it's one of the two. One of them is the false break here, higher highs, retrace, and we fly, or we go further lower here, create the divergence on the bottom, and flying from there. Hold this pair on your list. It's there, and it's ultra interesting opportunity. Euro pound, well, you remember that from the previous weekly forecast. We have two options here. One, we push for one more time to close the gap around 0.8830 or slightly higher before we fly to the downside. Two, as we have had on the 4-hour chart, kind of a triple cycle down, we are correcting in two legs, and we are going for sells. Both scenarios are doable, something like that, and then continuation down. Both scenarios are on the list. Keep an eye. They could provide really good opportunities. I don't really have a view on the euro dollar, guys. Besides, I think that this pair is yet bullish for some reasons. I don't know even why, but probably it still is bullish to around 110. So I don't really have a read on how it could be traded, but right now it might be some kind of triple cycle here. So every drop lower, I would still be looking for buy opportunities. I can say these are the best, so I prefer to look for the other opportunities. One that I really liked is the Euro Aussie, which is bouncing from the bottom of the range, holding, and now also kind of creating higher highs here. So what I would be looking here is every 2 waves down on this area, every 2 waves down, and I will be looking to go with buys here. That's for Euro Aussie, and I do believe we are going very nicely towards 144, 145, and then maybe even all the way to the top of the previous range, which is 156. So stay long here and in this pair idea. And remember the pound Aussie we have been talking about, guys, last week, and actually long time now. Where is it? Pound Aussie also broke the trend line, created the higher highs. We want 2 waves and buys after Brexit starts, of course, so we make sure there are no mess. Okay, 2 waves and look for buys. We can get closer to this trend line and look for the buys from there. If we observe on the levels, that's supportive areas, one here, a few slightly lower, and per dates, this is our channel. Okay, and per days for buys we have 26, 28. 26 was very top, and that's actually in the beginning of the week. 28 is a bit further, but it's also doable and reasonable dates. So this week for the drops, and of course respected by the Brexit news, of course, we might be looking for the buy opportunities. Could be really good. There is plenty of room to go up there because the cycle is monster double cycle down, which means we could expect this pair to correct, if the correction would go through 182, which is the 38.2 of that weekly double cycle. Indices. S&P created a very beautiful pattern which I love engulfing here, very nice engulfing and beautiful equal tails. Looks good. Divergence is there, of course, in terms of the histogram. As long as the top holds, after sells. But that's as long as the top holds, because if it won't, we will be looking for new bottoms, and I would expect this pair to this index to continue further down, maybe for one more push lower until this divergence is recreated, but it could also play some kind of game like this here. So look for sells. Every rally in 2 waves is a sell opportunity for every of them. Any of them, they created the same beautiful patterns, which of course bring the sell opportunity on. And as per the oil, I want that to push slightly lower a bit and start looking for the buy opportunities. False break is here, so as per this false break, we have to go above this high first, then retrace down and buys. That's why I would prefer to see the oil stopping here, making one more push to some kind of trend line here, false break with the next divergence, and then with the break of this trend line, something like down, break, and fly. Would be looking for buy opportunities. In terms of the dates for the oil and the levels, you can see that the further we go, the better the buy we have to return back to the channel. For the buys, we don't have anything coming as for now, which means there is no reason basically why low couldn't go further down. We have 22nd, which was here around 24, right? It was created by the weekend. So if it's holding, we still need to go above this high here, the retrace and buys. But if we go through all the way till the 5th, the 2nd, 5th, 3rd or 4th, and then it's gonna be like a week after to provide us the buy opportunities. Until then, and as long as this top holds, rallies could be sold. That will be all for today, guys. I wish you wonderful trading week. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click the buy click the buy button, click the like button. I got confused. You see how much I wait for trading, guys? I'm already saying buy button. So click the like, leave your feedback. That's of course always great to hear and gives a very good motivation to me to know your support. And feel free to share with anyone who you believe could be beneficial and helpful to her or his trading. So thank you once again for your time. I wish you wonderful trading week, and I'll see you soon. Yours, Vladimir Ribakov.